Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine running into a burning building, not because you have to, but because someone else's life depends on it. No helmet, no protective coat, no breathing apparatus, just fear, sweat, and courage. That was firefighting in the early 1800s. Today, we have high-tech gear that shields us from heat, smoke, and debris, but the core of firefighting hasn't changed. Courage, the decision to act despite fear, has remained constant. This is the story of firefighting. From wool coats and leather helmets to AI-assisted thermal imaging, from the volunteer brigades of the 1800s to the elite high-tech fire departments of 2025. And in every era, the human spirit, its bravery, its doubts, and its struggles, has been the greatest tool of all. Cities were tinderboxes, wooden streets, oil lamps, open flames everywhere. Fires could consume entire neighborhoods in hours. Firefighters were volunteers. Helmets, minimal leather caps, mostly symbolic. Coats, heavy wool if lucky. Boots, everyday shoes. Breathing protection, non-existent. Bucket brigades to horse-drawn steamers were inefficient. Great New York Fire of 1835 destroyed over 600 buildings. Volunteers fought with buckets and hand-pumped engines, crawling through smoke with no protection. Many perished, others returned again and again. Fear was omnipresent. Each firefighter faced the dizzying freedom to turn away or step forward. Kierkegaard's words resonate. Anxiety is the dizziness of freedom. Early firefighters embraced that dizziness, turning terror into courage. By the 1850s, 1870s, volunteer brigades began organizing. Engines improved, hoses became longer. Gear, minimal. Leather helmets became slightly standardized. Wool coats and rubber boots offered limited protection. Still, smoke inhalation and burns were common. Chicago Fire, 1871, destroyed 3.3 square miles. Volunteer brigades were overwhelmed. Firefighters suffered severe injuries. Lessons from this fire drove better organization, but gear remained insufficient. Pride in service battled helplessness. Firefighters were expected to protect a city larger than their equipment allowed. Survivor guilt and trauma were hidden but pervasive. The late 1800s brought early innovation: leather helmets with wide brims, wool or canvas coats, and rubber boots. The first smoke helmets appeared, heavy, unreliable, but a start. Triangle Shirtwaist Factory Fire, 1911 in NYC, exposed how inadequate gear and ladders failed to save hundreds trapped inside. Public outrage led to building codes, fire escapes, and the early recognition of firefighter safety as essential. Trauma from witnessing preventable deaths created an internal struggle. Firefighters began identifying as guardians of the public, a role that carried pride, pressure, and silent suffering. 20th century innovations marked a revolution. Protection became scientific, though still imperfect. Long rubber coats, reinforced gloves, leather or steel helmets. Early SCBAs appeared, heavy and unreliable. Thermal protection limited. Firefighters relied on training and instinct. Coconut Grove Fire, 1942, 492 deaths. Firefighters, even with improved coats and SCBAs, couldn't fully protect themselves or rescue everyone. Helplessness persisted despite better gear. Early PTSD, grief, and survivor guilt were common, though largely unacknowledged. Courage often required suppressing fear and emotion to continue fighting. From the 1960s, 1990s, gear improved dramatically. Nomex and Kevlar coats and pants, gloves, helmets with shields. SCBAs became standard, radios for communication. Thermal imaging cameras allowed firefighters to see through smoke. Beverly Hills Supper Club Fire, 1977, emphasized the importance of coordination and advanced gear. Urban high-rises challenged firefighters to adapt quickly to taller, denser structures. Increased responsibility brought stress, long-term trauma, and fear of failure. Firefighters had to balance technical skill with raw courage. By 2010, firefighters had the most advanced gear yet: full turnout gear with multi-layer protection. SCBAs, PAS devices, integrated communication, thermal imaging, GPS tracking, and monitoring systems. 9/11, 2001, 343 firefighters lost despite state-of-the-art equipment. Gear saved lives but couldn't guarantee survival. Extreme stress, PTSD, and survivor guilt became widely recognized. Culture began to shift. Courage now included admitting vulnerability and seeking support. Today's firefighting is high-tech, composite helmets with shields and communication, multi-layer turnout gear resisting heat, water, and chemical hazards, advanced SCBAs with heads-up displays and long-duration air, drones, AI-assisted thermal imaging, and predictive software. Global wildfires, industrial, and urban emergencies continue to test bravery and technology. Mental resilience is critical. Hypervigilance, burnout, and PTSD remain challenges. Bravery now includes self-care and speaking out about internal struggles, from wool coats and wet rags in the 1800s to Nomex suits and SCBAs in the 1900s, to AI-assisted gear in 2025. The tools changed. The courage didn't. Firefighting history shows us that bravery is a choice, not an item of clothing. And it asks each of us, when the fire comes, will you run or will you stand? If this journey inspired you, honor the firefighters who risked everything, from bare-chested volunteers to high-tech warriors of today. Hit like if you believe courage is timeless. Share this video to remind others of the human bravery behind every firefighter. And subscribe for more stories that reveal history, humanity, and courage in action.